Yo, yo, yo! New day, new day. Let's go with the yap wheel. Alright, so we're talking about Elden Ring. Elden Ring is the only logical choice here, as I have just, as of today, beaten the DLC Shadow of the Erdtree, and I'm about to spoil all of it. So if you're not prepared for that, kindly piss off. So I beat Radagon, not Radagon, I just beat him yesterday. Okay, let's start somewhere else until I remember the guy's name. I beat Mesmer, right? I talked about Mesmer. Mesmer was a pretty goated fight. But god, was he also hard. But I was not prepared for, you know, what comes after. Just like the area in general, it was hell. In a good way, of course, as Elden Ring tends to be. But just, I also figured out that are so many areas that are just okay. Let me get these stats straight. So I needed to go to beat up Mesmer, because he is basically the key to all these like darkness trees, darkness like vines and whatever that were sealing the holy gates. I can't remember if that's what they're called, but I'm gonna call them the holy gates. There are so many names that I've forgotten in Elden Ring already. It is not great. But I needed Mesmer's flame in order to burn the roots of the sealing tree or whatever it's called. You know, you get there way earlier, or you at least have the option to. That's like one of the first places you can go, and that's one of the first places I went, was, you know, up in the castle, up in Miquella's little castle. But it was of course sealed off. So in the end, it didn't really matter anyway. I mean, I just climbed all the way up there. Well, I did beat up a lion guy. I'm pretty sure he was, you know, I needed to go through him first in order to get some sort of message from, what's her name? The woman who betrays her, who I betray in the end? I don't know. She had some sort of allegiance to Miquella, but then changed her mind, I guess. But overall, a lot of the NPCs you meet are, you know, they have their own thing going on, and they all, like, begin to suspect and betray each other. Mainly the main girl you meet, the main woman you meet, the one who's also just standing there in, you know, in Moke's castle. She's mainly the driving force of, you know, beating up everybody's ass who is not on Miquella's side, and seeing as we are not currently on Miquella's side, as she is, femboy Miquella is up to no good. It is, you know, it is our duty to stop him, because nobody else does. So what ends up happening is that they, after you burn down the tree, and you know the seal burns off, and everybody essentially now has access to Miquella, and stopping her from ascending to godhood. There's something lore-wise about her being, you know, the descendant of both Radagon and Marika. You know, those two essentially being the same person, and therefore, those siblings have the ability to ascend to godhood, whereas nobody else really does. I don't really know. The family tree is so complicated. There's also, you know, I forgot her name, but the girl you meet at the very, you know, the one who gives you Torrent. She's apparently, there's some theories going around, very stable, very solid theories going around, that she is also, you know, in this direct she's a direct descendant of Radagon and Marika. So, you know, she also has the possibility to, you know, that's also why, I don't know, she has some sort of connection to Mesmer. It is very implied that she has connections to Mesmer. And, yeah, it is, I don't know, there is so much lore, I can't even begin to tackle all of it. But what I know is that in the game, at least what I did, is I ended up just fucking betraying everyone. Betraying all of my friends, because they were all on Miquella's side for some reason. I don't know, I had a hard time keeping track of what sides everybody were on, but I'm pretty sure everyone just switched sides at some point. And that is apparently lore-wise, because Miquella has some sort of ability to just make her more likable. Somehow, I don't really know. She just influences people, and that is also, he also does that in the fight. I constantly, I think of Miquella as a girl name, and Miquella is also a solid, he has passed the bar for being a femboy long ago. So don't mind me calling Miquella a she. That is understandable, I say to myself. But yeah, Miquella is just influencing a bunch of people to just be on his side. Which, I mean, I don't really know why Miquella is doing what she does, but she has, you know, he, fuck, I did it again. He has some sort of motive about, like, making a better world. Just overall, we get a little flashback, a little, very mini flashback. God, I am ass at this. We get a mini flashback, basically saying, yeah, hey, God, why can't I not remember his name? I'm just stalling for time until I remember the guy's name. Radahn, Consort Radahn. I still don't really know why a god needs a consort. I don't really know what the consort is about. I probably should have looked that up beforehand, but I didn't. So here we are. But yeah, Consort Radahn is a fucking phenomenal fight. It's a hard ass fight too. I had to just, in the middle of it, I usually just raw dog these fights until I win. But this one I actually had to take a step back and say, you know what? Maybe, you know, level 7 in the scatter tree. Maybe that's not enough. And maybe I need to actually respec into some. I did not dive. Maybe I need to respec. This is the first time I've ever respec at, you know, when you go back to Renala, full moon woman. You can actually just respec for like one larva tier. You can respec your entire build, which is that's great, because I had a little too many levels in faith and holiness, or whatever it's called. So that's not, you know, that could have easily been spent on strength and vigor. So yeah, not too greatly chosen by me. It also apparently depends on how much you, I don't know, there were also some medallions. I actually never found the medallion I was looking for, the amber something medallion +3. I only found the +1, and I don't even remember where. I just had it in my inventory, but it just spoofed your health by like a lot. I also, not even after I beat Radahn, but just before I beat Radahn, I went down to a finger place. That sounds scuffed, I'll get to that later, but I found the opposite medallion that gives you more FP, aka, you know, magic points. But seeing as I don't use a speck of magic, that is completely useless. Well, I already lied. I do use magic, but in the form of Ashes of War. I also found out another Ash of War that is way better than the one I already had. I just had Horaloo's Stomp, which is decent, but I would rather just, I don't know, my main way of attacking these, you know, in the late game here have been through the Lion's Claw, something like that. Essentially, you just do a flip and then hit really hard. And I mean, it fucking works. It works wonders. Especially against bosses that you cannot be bothered with. Such as Radahn, and such as Bale. I will talk about Bale in a second too. So, yeah, he took me a good while. I only beat him just like last night. So it has been a long journey for it. I don't know, solid gameplay wise. Like just fighting Radahn, I think it took me like what, 5 hours in total. It was dreadful. Maybe even more. It was bad. I'm also just not good, but I was also probably way too underleveled because I had also like half of the map left to explore, and I just didn't. So I don't know if you're meant to go that way, like, you know, meet Radahn and then or meet Radahn and Miquella, and then just lose so badly that you take a whole detour to you know, just get better, improve, and level up. There is a place, you know, post Mesmer, or somewhere in, I actually can't really remember how to get there. But after you beat Mesmer, like right beside the tower where he is, there is another way where you go to some sort of like general who is protecting like, I don't know, 6 different scatter trees fragments. It's insane the amount of upgrade you get from that area alone when you just beat that one guy, and he's not like particularly hard. I died to him like twice. That's it. So it's not like he was that hard. He was just, you know, it was just a horseback battle, which I wasn't used to, and I found out that the fight is just way easier on non-horseback when you just wait for him to go to you and then just fucking stagger him. I don't know, I feel like I've cheesed a lot of the fights. Not really a lot of the boss fights, but just like normal fights in general, because I stagger a lot of enemies the entire time. Just like normal guys, you know, the guy waiting just before Mesmer's door, before Mesmer's fight, he just got staggered. He was his own little mini boss, but he just got staggered, and I got him in the first try, and I don't think you're supposed to get him in the first try. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty epic. But yeah, I just went exploring after I got beat up by Radahn. He messed me up so fucking hard. He's just, I don't know, it's not the fact that he's fast. Well, it actually is, in a way. It's the combination of Radahn and Miquella in his second phase. His first phase is pretty easy. didn't stop me from dying to it though. But his second phase just has this like delayed holy damage, just beams coming out. If you've seen JJK, take Jacob's ladder and just downscale a teeny tiny bit and just like a straight line of that each time he does anything. God damn it, like a millisecond too late. Every time he does anything, there is a mini Jacob's ladder, like 5 different mini Jacob's ladders in each of their respective, I don't know, sometimes it's, you know, towards me, sometimes it's like a wall against me, and sometimes it's just an AoE attack, and it does such hefty damage. It is insane. They also have some sort of attack where I'm pretty sure, I haven't actually tried it, but I'm pretty sure if you get caught by Miquella twice, you just insta-die. That's what I expect. I haven't actually tried being caught twice. But you just get caught and Miquella whispers something in your ear, some comforting words, and then just leaves you, just does no damage, which is a pretty, I mean, it's a nice break from the fight at least, if nothing else, right? But also, you know, this also just plays into the fact that it's just a cool attack because it plays into the fact that Miquella is this, like, conniving angel on the shoulder of literally every NPC you meet. Other than Igon, I love Igon. Igon is awesome. Is that even how to say it? Egon? Igon. The Bale hater that I just got to today. I took down Bale after I took down Radagon. Radon. Fuck. These names. After I took down Radon. Because I thought they were like kind of on the same caliber, those two fights. But apparently not. Because the first time I got to the Jagged Peaks, and by the way, I love the Jagged Peaks just as an area. But the first time I got there, I got smacked up by Bale. And I just straight up dipped. I just went back and, you know, I guess took on Radon for a couple hours. Because that seemed like the better solution than going up against Bale again. To be fair, when I was under-leveled at that time, it seemed like about the same level of boss fight, but this time around, I took him down first try. To be fair, I also had the help of Egon, and I finally got the you know, the line of curse you, Bale, I hereby vow, yab, you know. It's such a hard line, and I've seen it everywhere online. It's cool as fuck. But I had difficulty, you know, remembering what he was actually saying in the moment, because I thought I was about to get my ass handed to me, because you know, it's fucking Bale. Bale the Dread. How badass of a name is Bale the Dread? Stay in one place. Please stay in a predictable pattern. But yeah, he got taken down in literally one shot. Not literally one shot, but I took him down first try. So that was a wee bit disappointing, in some sense. But it's fine. It's fine. It's, you know, I finally feel overpowered too, just because I actually beat Radon. Now I have I beat the dragon, and I beat the other dragon. So I'm good, and that is where I ended my journey. That was not the chronological order. That would have been a good way to end out the entire video. Let's backtrack. So I lose a lot to Radon, right? Then I just go and explore. like the entire place, because I have skipped a lot. Not really on purpose. I just somehow on the first try, without knowing it, took like almost the most optimal way to Radahn. So yeah, no wonder he was so hard. Also, the level up system works kind of differently than in the base game. You have these like you know, scatter tree fragments that you... It just ups your stats by like a significant margin. It's kind of like the flasks, how you upgrade the flasks. It's pretty great, because you actually feel a significant boost in like all your stats. And that's why it was so significant when I found like 6 of them at once, because then I could level up twice for like the cost of a single boss fight. So that was pretty great. Can you fucking... Thank you. So that was pretty great. And I just found a bunch of other fragments just lying around the Shadow Realm. Do I have an example? I do have sort of an example. It's a whole side tangent, but I've now officially been to the part of the map where you cannot summon Torrent, because Torrent is he is too terrified to come out of his Pokeball, right? Which is insane. I didn't remember it before I was, you know, standing there. It's like at the way bottom of the map. It's down in some deep valleys, where it's just infested with madness, kind of like in Hollow Knight. It's just a cave infested with madness, and the boss fight is, you know, madness itself, which is pretty fucking cool. It was actually a decently hard boss fight, compared to what I expected, at least. I died a couple times. I didn't die like, you know, it was, I think in my fifth try, I got to take care of him. But he is the lord of a mansion, just way down at the bottom of the world, and it is huge. And there's basically, you know, there is life down there, but it's all just, you know, fucking rats that are going fucking mad. Inside the mansion, also people are going mad and stuff. And also there are these things that, you know, if you catch them staring at you, they go fucking nuts. They just start running after you and infect you with madness. If you are infected with madness, you're just done for, because that means you are basically stunned for a couple seconds, and then they have plenty of opportunity to just grab you. And if you get grabbed, that is literally just an insta-death. So that's pretty fucking insane. It's apparently just, you just have to roam around and, you know, crouch around in the grass. Which, there were a lot of, like, you know, messages on the floor, not actual messages. That's also something, actually. The messages, you know, in the famous Elden Ring messages, like Fortnite, you know, they were just not there when I started the DLC, and I didn't really think about it, because, you know, it's been a while since I've even played Elden Ring. And also, you know, maybe it's the DLC, maybe there's just not messages in the DLC. I wouldn't know why, but maybe there just wouldn't be. But I think I just played offline for like the majority of that time for some reason, somehow. And, you know, when I finally got back, I got saved multiple times by getting my messages appraised. You know, you get a little health boost from that. That's pretty epic. just like in the middle of the hardest boss fights, I just get health boosted. That is pretty cool. Not that it stops me from losing anyway, but it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool concept. That was entirely my own fault. If I die here, it is gonna be embarrassing. So yeah, what happens is you just go down to this lord in this mansion. It feels probably much bigger than it actually is, just because you have to walk around on foot instead of on your horse, on your little torrent fella. It feels so much bigger, and it is, I don't know, it's pretty incredible that I actually managed to get lost down there, because I usually don't get lost fucking anywhere, even in a game. So the fact that they could manage that is, even to some degree, is pretty goated. It's a seal of approval from myself. Also, that part of the map, I needed a little guide to actually get down to, because it was just not that it was really hidden away, but I just, you know, it was at the bottom of the Mesmer Tower. That the Tower of Shadow, is it just called the Tower of Shadow? Maybe. God damn it. Go away. So at the foot of this tower, right after the boss fight that is there, not Mesmer, but the hippo guy. I'm pretty sure it's right beside then, that you can just go to the side instead of up the tower, which I did. I just took the first and best route there was, and again, that was apparently the most optimal route to Mesmer, and therefore the most optimal route to Radahn, and I've done that plenty of times. That exact pattern. You're gonna see that also later, that when I go to the way bottom right of the map, down to some sort of flower place that is pretty irrelevant when you know, in the grand scheme of things, but it's just a pretty place. It's goated. It's awesome. It's awesome sauce, as the kids say. I dashed into that one myself. That was atrocious. That was also just like a place I completely fucking missed. The same with this guy. The Shadow Realm, inside the Shadow Realm, the bottom realm. I had to, like, you know, go down a flight of stairs, go inside a coffin, and then, you know, just like believing in myself, doing like 15 mazes, you know, in a row. Not really mazes, just like cave puzzles, you know, the ones Elden Ring has. So I had to do, like, I think 4 or 5 of those whole ones in a row before I could actually, you know, before I went down and fought the big bad guy, the big bad boss. And then there was the Site of Grace there. Luckily there was a Stake of America also, so I didn't have to, I only died to the boss at once, but that was because I have used up literally all of my healing in the caves, in the tunnels. But that was, it just felt cool that you feel like, you know, you don't know where you're going, you don't know how much longer you're gonna keep going until you find a Stake of America. You don't know if there's a boss fight before the Site of Grace. You don't know if there's a boss fight before that. You don't know how safe you are. But just, I don't know, the messages from other players kept me going. Yes, there was indeed a guy who said Fortnite, and that really inspired me. That really hit home. So yeah, shout out to some guy who said Fortnite. Thank you. So that's just a cool experience. And then you get down, you're already on edge from this entire rundown to this place, and then you go down to a place that is obviously meant for like riding horses around because it's so big. It's just a big open space where like the first message you get is just don't let them see you, which is pretty fucking ominous in and of itself. And then you get the message that Torrent cannot spawn because he is too afraid. Which is fucking wild. It just sets a certain tone for this entire place because this is the only place that has been there. And also the message comes 3 times. Like, it's flashing as if Torrent is fucking screaming at you, like, please don't summon me here. I am terrified. And you don't really know why, but, it's just the fear of the unknown. God, that was a long jump. Just the fear of the unknown, I guess. It's pretty cool, just the concept of it all. And then, also the fact that this is the place that I couldn't actually figure out where the hell I was or where I was supposed to go, because you get a little glimmer of hope that when you get a map from down there, like, oh, there's finally something I know. I find a little, on the side of the road, a little map of the city that I scribbled down, just as any other map is. But except this one only marks where you already have been, and to further progress, you have to go further into the unknown, just when you thought you had a little inkling of safety. I don't know, it's really fucking cool, the entire place, and also, you don't know what to expect. You don't know if, like, I don't know. There wasn't really anything in particular down there, like any items or anything I wanted to get, or like that was worth getting, really. It's just the experience and just, the entire vibe of the place. It was worth it every second down there. But it was still, it was fucking terrifying. What was not as terrifying, but just like cool, I guess, was I got to fight against the Tree Sentinel again. Specifically 2 of them. Being, just outside the, the general I talked about earlier who was guarding like 6 fragments. Right beside him was a statue of America doing some sort of pose, and apparently from that you're supposed to know that, oh, you're supposed to do that pose, and then it unlocks a secret door, which, I don't know, I haven't really played any Souls games, I don't know if that's how it usually works, but it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it's supposed to work like that, or like, I don't know, just doing a pose to progress is kinda goofy. And when I say progress, I mean this entire place was optional, and the only thing that was really there was this maximum boost to FP that I talked about earlier. That was literally the only thing that was there. And then again, just a cool setting, because there's like a lot of fucking flowers everywhere. There's also, of course, the Tree Sentinels. I'm fairly certain this is also the place of where you cross from, is it called Lindell? No, Lindell is the city. From Limgrave to from the base game. It's a place from the base game that I can't remember. It's like some sort of bridge, and of course the Tree Sentinel is there too, so that's a pretty dead giveaway. And there's also some of the jars there too, so that's another point, because the first time we find Alexander in the base game is by that bridge, that exact bridge I'm talking about. So that's just a cool point. God damn it, shit. So yeah, and I don't know if I said it, but Bale the Dread, I fucking took him down first try. He was pretty underwhelming, but yeah, Tree Sentinel plays small little thingies, big little thingies, and then I don't know. It was not the greatest place in terms of enemies and combat, but it was a cool setting, and that's like, that's a lot of the places I visited today or yesterday. You know, post Radon. So yeah, I think that about covers it. Yeah, pretty goated. Overall, yeah, buy the DLC. It's worth it. In case you're still here and have I don't know. I'm talking to nobody now. I'm heading out. I'm getting a headache. So later, boys. Goodbye.